What's up, everybody? So today we're going to be talking about programs, what a program is. First of all, I want to give you a definition from dictionary.com for what a program is. So you can see there's a lot of different definitions here, but the one we are mostly concerned about is definition 8, program, as it relates to a computer or to computers. So a program, guys, is just a collection of program statements that performs a specific task when run by a program. A program is often referred to as software. So you may hear that word used instead of program. People might say software. Also, a code segment refers to a collection of program statements that are part of a program. So program's the overall big piece of software, and then code segments are smaller little pieces that form collections of statements. So a computer program has to be versatile enough to work for a variety of inputs and situations. So the behavior of a program is just how a program functions during execution, and it's often described by how a user interacts with it. A program can be described broadly by what it does, or in more detail by both what the program does and how the program statements accomplish this function. So the definitions we looked at there have a few common themes. One of the themes is that writing a computer program is a lot like writing a story. They both have beginnings, they both have ends, and the interesting part is how they move from the beginning to the end. So I want you to remember back to elementary school for just a minute. And you might have got an assignment that looked something like this. So these images represent various events in a story. So why don't you try to number them 1, 2, and 3 according to the logical sequence of events in the story. And then write a description of the scene in its proper order, so like 1 sentence per event. So you might have gotten something like this in elementary school, but let's use this as an example because these activities always deal with a specified process where one event logically follows from another. In this particular example, there's some ambiguity regarding where the process begins, but let's assume that the process begins with the planting of the watermelon seeds. So that's the image that we'll start with. And given that constraint, it only seems logical that our watermelon eater has to cut the watermelon before eating it. So our sequence of events might look something like this. We may start, plant the watermelon seeds, cut the watermelon, eat the watermelon, and that's where our story ends. Because programs also need well-defined beginnings and ends, a number of discrete events, and they need some indication of the ordering of these events. Many programmers use diagrams like this one. This is called a flowchart to plan their programs. Flowcharts are just visual representations of structured processes. They can represent computer programs, they can represent stories and scripts, they could represent business models. Flowcharts can be used for all kinds of things. You may find that flowcharting is helpful to you in planning out the sequence of events in your program. For a lot of text-based programming languages, a flowchart provides a nice visual counterpoint to the program code itself. But let's take a look at a visual programming language, because some programs are written using visual programming languages like Scratch. And that's structured similarly to a flowchart. So you can kind of see what a visual programming language might look like next to a flowchart. But anyway, guys, that's all from me for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it kind of explains a little bit about what a program is. But anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or you can always email me at nalders@nacisd.org.